Okay, abusia ba mma kwa ba strong so edeba POG Media so abusia yembonra yensemu sisi ano N.Fordjour na allegation obeye ya yede ehun nsem bebre abremu na achese back and forth na national security se konifie ni ade na abusia ene NDC chairman general N.Ketia ede ensem bi aba betudwa o chese ono no onte as national securities for HI N.Fordjour emma no enenamo na de ekoso no enye agro ena chese omodina ono no oka se se national security for no ekọ na omokoche N.Fordjour omokọ na omokofa ne ba na omo ntena ase sa nyuma no enkoso see Nketia ni interview na okọ granting abusua wa kansem ama national securities for no atake quick action on N.Fordjour issue ni biwa abusua enye asem keto akwa yensem momre no mom yankọ na yankọ tie see Nketia ensem odi tudwa na answer na ebekọ no owo ensem kan bi afahye your comment section like share ma afoforo so ensa into me enkabi aha POG Media so medamase.
You've seen that you want to draw my attention to?
I've seen Central Regional MPP condemns NIB over N.Fordjour's arrest and all that. And I think that this story has been running for some time now. And it amazes me.
What is it about that story?
That's an MP N.Fordjour's arrest and NIB Buhaha. That is the MP who claims that some planes landed at the Kotoka International Airport and therefore jumped to conclusion that they must be carrying cocaine and so on because some cocaine too was arrested somewhere in the country. So he just links and said that those flights were carrying cocaine and was calling on government to do investigation. State agencies invite you to come and provide evidence and you refuse to come and think that parliamentary immunities protects you. I mean, it's been first when it was starting, I considered it to be a joke, but the way it has gone and the way MPP has jumped into the fray and the actions they are taking, suggesting that some way, somehow, if you are a citizen or you are a member of parliament, you are above the laws of this country, and that our freedom of speech is not coming with responsibility for what you say. It's very, very interesting to me, to say the least.
But if you look at the mode of invitation, you have been a member of parliament before.
Yes.
What we do understand is that before a member of parliament would be invited for any kind of questioning, Mr. Speaker would have to be written to. And in fact, the week preceding the story, 2 members of parliament were actually, made to meet officials of the NIB after writing to Mr. Speaker. What would have been so wrong if they went through that process to invite the Honorable N.Fordjour?
You see, people are trying to make one size fit all situation. The Constitution guarantees that when an MP is on his way to Parliament or it's on his way out of Parliament, he should not be served with court processes or by implication cannot be arrested and so on and so forth. And that when you are on the floor of the House debating, you cannot be held responsible for whatever you say on the floor of the House. Those are guarantees, but they have their limits. The wording of the Constitution says when you are on the way to Parliament, you are out of or inside Parliament. So, if Parliament is on recess, and clearly you are not on the way to Parliament, you cannot carry yourself to be above the laws of this country just because you have these parliamentary immunities. They don't apply. Citizens are citizens, whether they are members of Parliament or they are not members of Parliament. And in this particular case, everybody knows Parliament is on recess.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not the case?
That's the case.
And this, you couldn't prove to anybody that some committee was sitting and that is the reason he's rushing to and he's rushing to Parliament and so on. You claim they came to your house. Your house is, with all due respect, it's not a parliamentary sitting room. So tell me, if you are making allegations about drug trafficking, which is very, very serious issue, to carry yourself as an honorable member, you should be knocking the doors of the security services to give them information and force them to do their work. You should not be seen as somebody who is resisting invitation to go and tell them what you want. You have made an allegation. They say, come and help us to track down the criminals. Say, I'm not coming. You go and investigate and make the report public. I mean, security personnel are not magicians. They rely on information and follow up on information so that they can apprehend suspects. If you claim you have that information and you are keeping it to yourself and denying the security services the opportunity to get to the right people and arrest them, what do you think you are doing? You are acting against the interests of the state. So this issue about immunity from arrest and all, it doesn't come in at all. And the protocols that has been established between the Speaker and Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, are very, very clear that before those protocols, court processes were served on MPs anyhow. So the Speaker was alarmed and he engaged the Ladyship, the Speaker, the Chief Justice, and they agreed that, okay, if you are serving MPs court processes or inviting MPs for anything, Mondays, you don't go to Parliament. So can you do it on Mondays? And they all agreed. Okay. So processes are set on Mondays. Why? Because you wouldn't know the day, the time the process will come, whether Parliament is on recess or it's not on recess. But these protocols do not cover periods when Parliament is on recess. Because everybody knows that Parliament is on recess. And this allegation that committees are meeting and so on and so on. Which committee does he belong to which was meeting? Was he on his way to Parliament?
Obviously not.
Was he on his way out of Parliament? What about those who came around, the MPP leadership that came around? Why wouldn't you, if it were an NDC person and this thing had happened to him and we come around, he calls us and we come around, all that we have to do as responsible leadership is to carry him, follow him to the law enforcement agency's office wherever he's needed. My deputy was arrested some time ago. I did not resist the arrest. We were addressing a press conference and security people came in and tried to whisk him away. I said, no, why? where do you want to take him? And they said they wanted him to answer some questions at the CID headquarters. I said, okay, let him be in my car. I'll drive together with you to the CID headquarters.
And they agreed.
They said, no, he cannot be in my car. I said, okay. From the International Press Center to the police headquarters, it's not far away. So I would like to walk with him. You can follow me with your cars or your weapons. Follow me. I'll walk with him and take him straight to the CID post. And that was what I did. Because you can't run away from law enforcement and hiding under a parliamentary immunity. Because every member of parliament is a citizen in the first place. And the issue you are raising is not like a litigation between you and another person. It is something that affects everybody, including you who are interviewing me today. You know the implication of what he's doing. If he succeeded in branding Ghana as a drug trafficking hub, what it means is that every Ghanaian citizen traveling anywhere across borders becomes a suspect. And your life will not be as the same again. When you arrive at any border point, they will do some intensified screening, waste your time and so on, because somebody you have elected to lead you is making allegations and he's making it difficult for the law enforcement agencies to get to the bottom of the allegations. And this hangs on the neck of every citizen of this country, painting the country black. You were elected to save the country. You are not elected to destroy the country. So it's a serious...
Could they have done this in a more, for want of a better word, in a more responsible manner? We are told that about 20 officers showed up at his house with a number of cars. Some had their faces covered and all of that. Do you think if they had gone about it, and I know you have a security background as well, do you think if they had gone to his house in a more measured manner, we wouldn't have even been discussing something like this?
Why are you deviating from the core issue of an MP making very damaging allegations about the country? And you are focusing on the methods of inviting him or arresting him. So where does the main issue find space? See, we are diverting attention from the core issue. The mode of arrest or invitation could be problematic, but the leadership of the party, are they saying that because the mode of invitation or arrest or attempted arrest was bad, so we should forget about the main issue? Or how are the leaders of that political party assisting this country to clean the mess that this member has created? Why are we diverting from the core issue and dealing with the peripheries? Why? If you are a responsible leadership of a party, they have tried to arrest your person. There is a reason why they tried to arrest him. The mode of arrest is wrong. Condemn it. But beyond the condemnation, what are you contributing to the solution of the main problem itself? Why are we diverting attention from the main problem? The main problem is that you are called an honorable member and the nation expects you to be honest. The nation expects you to conduct yourself in ways that will not damage the reputation of Ghana. That is the main issue. It is not about your rights. Small, this, that, I should have been invited. They shouldn't have come. The number of police is this, the number of police is that. Well, if that is wrongful, the leadership could have taken the guy and made him available to the law enforcement agencies that this is the person. Let him answer the questions. But you cannot use the fact of whatever you call wrongful arrest and so on, and seems to suggest that so therefore he can say he will not cooperate with the security. So what happens to the damage he has caused to the nation? What happens to the statements he has made?
You find the MPP's attempts diversionary?
Completely diversionary. And I find it very irresponsible as a political party.
Anyway.
So they should, even it is not too late, today, they should find ways of making Reverend N.Fordjour or whatever accountable to his utterances, because that is what democracy is about. Freedom of speech is guaranteed, but it doesn't mean that you can say anything and get away with it. I think one of these dictators in East Africa said that, oh, he can guarantee freedom of speech, but he cannot guarantee freedom after speech.
That must be Idi Amin, I think.
You know, however crude it might be, freedom of speech is guaranteed, but your hand must end where my nose begins. So, freedom of speech comes with responsibility of what you say. So, if it goes to hurt a fellow citizen, there are remedies. It takes you to court for libel and other
and slander.
And slander. Okay. If it is against a state institution, the institutions must act. So you cannot just get out and say, because I'm an elected member of parliament, and then say anything. And when they say, come give the evidence for us to pursue it, you say, I won't come.
Chairman, maybe a final one on this one before we move on to other areas. What do you make of the call by the minority for a commission of inquiry on the same matter?
What type of commission of inquiry?
That's what they are calling for.
This is a simple thing that you can get the answer. Come tell us what you want. You think that Ghana has so much money that any irresponsible statement you make, even if it doesn't make sense, we should spend money to establish commissions of inquiry? Do you know how much a commission of inquiry will cost? And with the mess they have created already, we should spend the little resources establishing commissions of inquiry when there is no basis. When there is a simple criminal matter, why would you, and then the criminal investigative institutions can find the solutions? Why would you leave that one and go establishing commissions of inquiry? I've also heard about they calling for a bipartisan probe and so on. When there's a criminal matter where you have state agencies that can deal with it, why would you leave those ones and go establishing bipartisan committees? How many of the bipartisan committees established in this parliament have produced any results that has brought solutions? So, my advice to Reverend, he claims to be Reverend. If you know what you have said has no basis, you don't have any evidence, well, as a Reverend minister, you have a privilege that you were informed by the Holy Spirit or something. So, or you were
I'm not aware he said so.
I'm saying that no, that's a clear escape route. You see, that's a clear escape route. Oh, I was inspired by the Holy Spirit to say A, B, C, so it is not something that I can prove or something.
So I'm sorry.
Oh, they don't even say they are sorry. A lot of those who make prophecies, even when the prophecies don't come to pass, they don't say they are sorry. And it has happened in this country. And you have a title that can cover you. If you don't want to retract your words, you can just say that, well, it's a prophecy. So that's what I said. And that one will not create the type of image that currently they want to create to hang on the neck of this country and every citizen of this country. So it affects all of us. And he can't continue calling himself honorable when
okay,
you are acting
in so political highway so N.Fordjour and Asisiano, a seed N.Ketia, Edinano, Ababeto, a Yensama, Ecosoa, or National Security Force, or Monco, na Onconfa N.Fordjour, and Brass, our Instruct or more Gidikidia, and ye Asamketua. Crabedamasi, Sir Moche Penecocotisa, or do you know, Edimai, aha, A.POG Media, so, Bedamase.